So how did Doom revitalize and refresh the first-person shooter genre back in 2016? Well, the short answer is they didn't follow a traditional formula and created what was fun to remain fresh and end up creating new standards. So what makes it stand out? Well, I'm Andrew, and let's jump into this. I didn't grow up with a computer, but I did experience Doom on the Super Nintendo back in the mid-90s on its iconic red cartridge. Heck, I still even have that cartridge, but popping it into my Super Nintendo console at the time, I remember thinking, how is it possible that developers allow such a game? At the time, I remember Mortal Kombat being a big deal due to its blood and violence, but this was miles ahead of what Mortal Kombat was. As soon as the game loaded, the title Doom Guy appeared on Mars' horizon with a baddie. Immediately, starting the game, you're thrown into an unknown world and start playing. Let me pause here for a moment, because back then, you didn't really know what kind of game you were getting into other than word of mouth and magazines. I got this game along with 10 other games as my brother's friend needed cash fast and sold me his entire Super Nintendo collection that was funded through the numerous chores I was performing around the house and throughout the neighborhood. First of all, none of my friends had this game, so we never talked about it, and second, I only read magazines that were handed down to me from other friends. If they got to me, because sometimes they were accidentally thrown away or forgotten about as these were passed around. Anyways, after my first kill, I had to pause for a moment. In my mind, I was thinking, just what the hell happened? I needed a moment to decompress what I just experienced. Yeah, of course, I killed many baddies in video games, such as in Super Mario World, Mortal Kombat, and Super Metroid, but never in a first-person perspective where the baddie's corpse is lying on the ground as a reminder of your victory. I knew this was different, and I continued to play in my bedroom. I had never beat Doom on the Super Nintendo, but it forever scarred my mind that Doom was not a franchise to play around with. They mean business, and they don't mess around. Almost 20 years later, Doom 2016 released where I picked up and installed the game. Being a seasoned FPS veteran, I'm already going into this with some basic expectations, such as the ability to run, reload your weapon, and aim down the sights. But you know what? Doom doesn't have any of these things. Did the developers not play any FPSs in the last 20 years for what was a comic gaming mechanic? Well, Doom is not like the other guys. They don't care about industry standards as they create the industry standards. They methodically developed Doom to be its own identity, and this work shows for itself. After playing Doom, there's a few splash words that come to mind when I think of the game. Those words are badassery, fluidity, and music. In the opening scene, the dialogue heard is, "They are rage, brutal, without mercy, but you'll be worse, rip and tear, until it is done." This is exactly what the game is. The developers are not selling you anything less or more. Most games open where you as a player is weak and gain abilities to dominate and become powerful over time. I would consider this as an industry standard as it works where it's intended and it gives the player the chance to grow and develop with the character. Remember what I said that Doom is not like the other guys? Well, they don't have time for this, as mankind is in danger. You start the game with the ability to rip and tear. You have rage, and your only focus is to stop the demonic presence. Doom Guy is so carefully crafted in this sense, and you do as you please to accomplish this task. Doom Guy is quickly introduced to Dr. Hayden, who's the director of the Mars facility, but you know what? Doom Guy doesn't care what Dr. Hayden has to say, even though he tries to assist Doom Guy with information. Doom Guy has a goal to stop hell itself. Writing this script is pretty difficult not to swear, as Doom Guy's attitude is basically, F this, F what have you done, and I will F you up, and this sums up Doom Guy's instinctual attitude. This is the first game I experienced this type of attitude throughout the entire experience. When Doom Guy picks up an upgrade to his weapon, you would expect him to grab the item in gratitude, but nope, not Doom Guy. He grabs the item like a savage grabbing a piece of meat and punches a drone away, like thanks, but F off. See what I mean by the script? Anyways, we know Doom Guy loves new weapons, and the bigger the better, as it aids in his destruction to stop the demonic forces. Picking up new gear is really cool the first time around as you see the Doom Guy inspects it. With his new armor and weapons, he takes a close look and the world around you blurs as that's his primary focus for the time being. For weapons, he inspects how the weapon loads its rounds into the chamber and looks at it both sides. This is just a small detail that never gets boring for any playthrough I've experienced. I would like more games to add this type of detail, as I'm like, hell yeah. Now let's try this out on some baddies, and I'm sure this is what Doomguy's thinking too. Most games just have you pick up a weapon and that's it. Maybe a pop-up, but nothing special. Doom wants even this to be a special moment so you remember it when you're slaughtering hordes of enemies. As Doomguy adds upgrades to his weapon, there's no finesse. He grabs the upgrade, slams it onto the weapon into place. It's like this throughout the entire game and it never gets boring to me. You never feel weak, rather you feel like the hunter and the dominant force in the area. There's a scene where Doomguy needs to deactivate a power source, and guess what he does? Instead of carefully removing a power source, as that can be done, he smashes it, rendering it inactive. He doesn't care about the research, as the research has summoned the portal from hell, but this is his attitude. What do I mean by fluidity? Remember those industry standards? Where Doom tosses them out and decided instead of a realism model as games as Call of Duty and other FPSs that went by having mechanics as reload, Doom looked at what is fun. I'm not saying I prefer one stance over the other, but I have to admit, here in Doom, the ability not needing to reload is pretty fun as you're in the action all the time. There's no excuse that you're killed because you died while reloading ammo into your weapon. If you run out of ammo, that's on you because there's several ways to gain ammo stocks. You know what's more gruesome than just shooting down a baddie down from a distance where they might explode? It's getting up close and personal. In the original Doom that I remember from the SNES, when you run out of ammo, you have two ways to neutralize a baddie. One, you could punch them down, which is pretty weak, or two, you can pull out your chainsaw and mow them down. Well, they're both here and better than I could have imagined. A new melee kill is introduced called Glory Kills that replaces the typical punch when an enemy is weakened and stunned. Just as the name implies, it's a glorious way to kill an enemy. Depending on the enemy and Doomguy's relative position from the baddie will play an animation kill. These kills are necessary because you gain a little bit of health during a glory kill. You'll find plenty of ammo and health throughout the world, but during an encounter with an enemy and the number of objects flying towards you with occasional barrel explosion, it's expected that you'll sustain some sort of damage where the area health packs might have already been picked up by you. Chainsaw kills are limited by how much gas you have, but just like with glory kills, an animation of the kill is intense. Doomguy cuts through the enemy by cutting them in half. As Doomguy is in process of mowing the baddie in half, tons of ammo are generated. It's wise to wait until you're low on ammo to use a chainsaw, but who am I kidding? These kills are so much fun, and makes it even worth its limited usage by providing a big bonus. Obviously you can find gas canisters throughout the level, but all the more reason of how special of a weapon this is and the strategy needed when to pull out the chainsaw. The fun just doesn't stop with weapons, but the movement is fluid, as well as jumping, scaling ledges, and suit upgrades. Doomguy doesn't aim down the sights, or at least it's my impression that he shoots all the weapons from the hip. At first I wasn't a huge fan because I was just so used to holding down the left trigger to aim, but this is Doomguy, the Master Slayer, and it feels so good. Especially when you have automatic weapons as you hear, feel, and see its casings ejecting from the rifle as seen with the machine gun as one example. I feel like Rambo shooting his machine gun while mowing down the enemy. Now when you hold the left trigger, you activate the weapon's upgrade specialty based on what you have attached, such as a grenade launcher. At all times, Doomguy runs. There is no need to activate this event, as Doom is not a game that you camp out and blast the enemy through a tight corridor. Demonic forces spawn all over the area, where no one place is safe for Doomguy and you need to constantly run around, scale ledges, and slowly kill all enemies. Throughout the world, you'll find dead Praetorian guards who are special security details where they have an enhancement chip that you can use to upgrade your armor. This can aid you in a number of ways. If you like to find secrets and collectibles, there's an upgrade that gives you cues that you're closer to the collectible. Some of these secrets really pay homage to the original Doom back in the 90s, even with the environments where it looks like you've gone back in the past with the visuals and a secret room. In-game menus are fluid and don't get in the way. It's easy to navigate what you want to upgrade and see local area map of the world. If you want to learn more lore, you have a database now to feed your need to know more. I saved the music for last, as this completes what Doom is to me thanks to Mick Gordon. Remember what I shared about the opening dialogue? Rip and tear until it is done? His music complements this and makes you as a player to Doom Guy to rip and tear the baddies. If you're feeling down in blue, play the soundtrack and I can almost guarantee you'll feel like killing some baddies in Doom. The deep riffs when the music gears up to a fight scene is beautifully done. When you enter an area and all of a sudden you hear the distorted guitar and bass go up, it's about to go down. What's more amazing is how fluid this music complements the gameplay. There's no sudden cut, rather it transitions smoothly. Still, today Doom feels fresh, modern, and fun. There's a story and I think it's done pretty well here, but the gameplay triumphs all to me. As I haven't tried multiplayer, but I'm here for the campaign and loving every bit of it. Killing enemies with weapons or glory kills is so satisfying. Doom excels because it does what Doom does best. Rip and tear until it is done, and I'm ready to dive into Doom Eternal next. What stood out to you the most in Doom and why? Let's talk about it in the comments below. Well, this is Andrew, and I'll catch you guys at the next video.